All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little break after this presentation. We're going to ask you stay. We're going to start with the pros, and we're going to hear. Actually, let's start three over here. Let's start. You guys be sorry. Yeah. So we're going to hear about social media, and we're going to start with the cons. Please give everybody a big round of applause.
A group of parents are concerned whether or not to let their kids use social media. Today, Cyrus, Leah, and I will be discussing the dangers of social media usage, which is the click of a button. Social media, when first came up with 6 Degrees, it was the first social networking website that developed in 1997 and lasted until 2001. You could do stuff as you could list friends, families, and people you've never even met before.
Hi, Miss Berkeley and Kaylee. Unfortunately, Peter cannot be here due to being a field trip, and we're doing the social media forums.
So the definition of social networking is basically just an internet application that you can use to interact with people all around the world. And like Kathy mentioned, our scenario was there's a group of parents who are like, oh, I don't know, I want my kid to use that. So what we are doing is we're talking about why they should use it, because there's easy access to information, especially for we are a virtual school and we need access to information. You know, we don't always have our textbooks, and so we need to use the internet to do presentations such as this. And there's also campaigning and reviews and communication. I mean, you could talk to someone who's halfway across the world in China or in Australia just with your phone. I mean, it's kind of amazing. So.
Scamming is a confidence game or a fraudulent scheme, especially to get quick money. Scammers or hackers tend to go to more like potential websites such as Facebook. According to Facebook's COO, Facebook has over 175 million logins every single day. Scams such as cash grabs, hidden URLs, phishing requests all pop up on these websites, so people tend to lose money, get hacked, or
So for easy access to information through social media, about 96% of people use social media to do research, and about 88% of people use social media for product reviews, social marketing, how it's used to promote their products through social media. And last year, about $10 billion was spent on social marketing, and people with a lot of followers on their social media pages use social marketing to brand, products that they are in favor of. And schools, 95% and above people use social media for schools. I know colleges and universities use it to recruit students. About 100% use Facebook to recruit students. About 83% use Twitter, and 80% use YouTube.
A very serious outcome of misusage of social media sites can result in sex offender charges and even jail time. 3 minor teens in Wyoming County, Pennsylvania were captured and suspected of sexting. These 3 teens were taken to court in 2010, but their fate was already decided in 2008 when the district attorney of that area said sexting was the practice of sending or posting sexually suggestive images or text messages via cellular telephone or over the internet, which the evidence showed that these 3 girls did. Now, there are far more cases every single day than what there are in court cases. We see teens in our schools, maybe even some of us do this, and if you get caught, you can receive sex offender charges and jail time. if you don't use social media correctly?
So one major positive to social media is campaigning, and more specifically presidential campaigning. With the 2016 presidential elections coming up in November, a lot of the candidates are cracking down on social media such as Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. They even all have their own personal websites, and they're all using them to reach out to the public and say, hey, vote for me, this is what I believe in, this is what I'll do for you. And actually, each candidate, such as Trump, Clinton, Carson, Sanders, all of them, Kasich, they reach 9,800,000 people every single day just through each one of them. Reaches that many people just through social media, through Facebook and Twitter, just through those two websites. Each person reaches 9,800,000 people, and they're telling them, hey, this is what I believe in. Now I'm doing a speech here in this city, or I'm hoping that you come to vote for me in whatever primary is coming up. And actually, a survey that the New York Times did said that 41% of presidential candidates so far are using social media to tweet or post their political and economic views to the public, and 30% of them are using social media to share links that go to articles that talk about things such as maybe the Times posted a article on Trump's primary in New York, and so they'll post these things and they'll say, hey, look at this, we went here, and they'll talk about that. And so that's campaigning.
If you're talking to someone over social media, there's no way to prove who they actually are unless you've met them face to face. It's very easy to create a fake or misleading profile that is very convincing. In 2010, there was a man named Peter Chapman, who is better known as the Facebook killer. He had created a fake profile that made him seem a lot younger than he actually was, and he befriended a girl named Ashley Hall. He had used Ashley Hall's insecurities to convince her to meet up with him. In 2011, he was charged with the murder of Ashley Hall, and he had used Facebook to carry out his crime.
Okay, so social media enhances communication also with, people from around the world, say from here in America to England. I know that social media, so students can create study groups through social media, and research shows that students who, use the internet have better grades than students without internet. Also, large chain restaurants use social media to inform their employees, say if it's snowing outside, and then they can easily inform their employees about not to come to work that day. And also, they use social media to receive feedback from customers through their online customer service. Also, for friendships, study shows by CNN shows that over 50% of teenagers make friendships through social media.
In conclusion, social media poses many risks. Parents who are considering whether or not to let their teenagers use social media need to take all these risks into consideration and need to educate their teens on the dangers of using social media.
In conclusion, I think that going back to our scenario, that the group of parents who are worried about their children having a social media, I think that they should allow their children to have a social media because it allows them easy access to information. They can become more involved in the news, the political campaigning. They can know who, when they're older, they can know who they possibly want to vote for, or if they have an idea of what party they want to be a part of, and they can communicate with friends, and they can build friendships that will last forever across the world. So I believe that the social media is very good.
John, video?
No, it wasn't for, we already mentioned it.
Pardon?
For Peters, yeah, we already did it.
Okay, we'll start up here.
What is the, you were talking at the beginning about like the people, I know I asked, what is the phishing? You were talking-
Phishing?
Yes.
It's like when people they get, so like say you have like a quiz like on Facebook that pops up and it's like, what Darth Vader, like what character are you from Star Wars? And then like you put in all your information and stuff and like people just like get all your information, address, and it can cause like very bad things.
So I know like everybody hears about the negative experiences on social media, but like, if you had positive experiences of an uplifting message from social media or like contact from friends that you haven't seen in 5 years.
Yeah. So I have a friend that's she left when I was in elementary school. And through Instagram, followed her, got her Snapchat also. And now we communicate, found out she was in Tennessee and I did not know that.
Other questions?
So you guys are pros of social media, but if you think about social media is kind of new. So for your points, how would you kind of talk about these if it wasn't for social media? Like how would these apply in the real world without?
I mean, it's social media, you have to have internet.
If you didn't have social media, then would your points still apply? Like it seems like it's kind of selective.
Well, would their points apply too? I mean, if
Yeah,
there wasn't no social media, like.
Social media, not answer about the New York Times in 1905.
I mean, I guess my question is, how did people do the things that you guys talked about, or things that you guys talked about before social media?
We
Well-
don't take the research.
With campaigning especially, like I mentioned, each campaigner, just through Twitter and Facebook, each campaigner reaches 9,800,000 followers for people just through those two sections. Whereas before, they would have reached probably only the people who went to their speeches and their primaries and got to see them. And so we're reaching people who are far more able to, they have easy access. Whereas if someone like Kasich had a rally in Wisconsin, we live in Virginia, not all of us have the money or the time to go to Florida, Wisconsin. So we can go onto our social media and see directly what happened on there. So that's just easy access to information.
Thank you.
This is how many of your arguments do you feel were user controlled? Because I know you said, like when people pretend who they are, you can obviously tell, I wouldn't say obviously, but you could, if you're a parent, you can inform your child, like, just don't friend anybody, don't follow these, don't do this. How much is user controlled?
I feel like as long as parents educate their children, then you can avoid a lot of these dangers. But it's
Pretty much all of these bad things are just simple misusages of social media. I mean, it's not like the big companies are out to hunt you down specifically and kill you because you didn't like friend someone or something. It's all user controlled, but that's the point. These things do happen and they're going to continue to happen more than ever.
Very good.